to the Hupcast. Hello and welcome to the first ever Hupcast, the podcast of the Hamilton Underground Press. Lots of lovely tunes coming up on the show today, from Carb on Carb, Carols, the Burmester and the Blind, Hollow Grinders, Ancient Tapes, and much more. And kicking us off, a band that are playing Hamilton on the 30th of May twice in one day. This is Carb on Carb with Eden Terrors. That was Carb on Carb and Eden Terrors, a band that's playing twice in one day, as I mentioned, on the 30th of May in Hamilton. And there's an afternoon show at Creative Waikato at 2 p.m. with Ancient Tapes and I.E. Crazy. And then the same bands plus Palmerston North's Man in Rug playing at Navara Lounge that evening. There'll be a door charge, and we'll tell you more about it. We're hoping to get Carb on Carb to come on actually for an interview before the next podcast, before that show happens. Anyway, in the meantime, this is a band I saw not too long ago at Navara Lounge playing at a show with God Bows to Math and Green Fog and Salvage. This is a group called Carols, and the song is called something that I've forgotten, so I'll tell you later. Ever the Professional. That was Carol's and a track called Overhead from their eponymous, good word there, eponymous release, Carol's. They were one of the most thrilling things I've seen for a long time, actually. Guitarist Ruben Winter, who's been in lots of other bands, of course. Yeah, very, very interesting. Their new LP, Momentary Decline, is also worth getting. Now, that was a show put on by Chums and Cam, who are bringing lots of cool bands at the moment into town, mostly to play at Navarra Lounge. This is another band that's coming to town on May the 2nd. This is Dee Burmester and the Blind, and a song called Abandonment.
Found myself running, eyes closed. I didn't care what I couldn't counter. And my shadow blocked the light. I needed to be in the wrong place for a while. Though it's clear now, oh, I forget. And tricks they play on a fragile state from a careless mind. Beyond a slight recollection, the years they fade to grey. Call it off, I never found all I was, yeah. But as kids we all ran wild before the wild ran us. It was the prettiest before us. Mistakes are all worthwhile, and the burden of defeat left us with the dirt that we could wash, but ideas that we could not. And beyond a slight recollection, the years they fade to grey. Call it off, I never found all I was, yeah. I've fallen down stone cold. Carry on alone. Carry on alone. Carry on alone. I've fallen down stone cold. Carry on alone. Carry on alone. Carry on alone. I've fallen down stone cold. Carry on alone. Hey! Carry on alone. Carry on alone. I've fallen down stone cold. Carry on alone. Carry on alone. Carry on alone. I've fallen down stone cold. Carry on alone.
Absolutely fantastic. That was Dee Burmester and the Blind, and a track called Abandonment off their latest LP called All Right Good Night, which you can grab from their Bandcamp, and they're playing at Navarra Lounge on the 2nd of May. Well worth getting along to, I would think. Anyway, another show 2 weeks after that, happening again at Navarra Lounge. Aren't we lucky to have such a place? It's an after party. It's actually the Zine Fest, Hamilton Zine Fest on that day. And in the evening, there's a little celebration involving the New Millennium Beatniks and Ancient Tapes and this lot, Hollow Grinders. And this is a track called Rhythm and Boogie. Absolutely fantastic. That was Hollow Grinders and Rhythm and Boogie. And they are playing at Navarra Lounge on Saturday, May the 16th at the Zine Fest, Hamilton Zine Fest after party, which is just a gold coin entry. Now, I know that you've got a gold coin. I can see it. I can sense it from here. So why don't you save that gold coin, put it somewhere safe, and then on May the 16th at about, 8 o'clock, take yourself along to Navarra Lounge and have a good time with that gold coin. I mean, you have to give it over. You can't have a good time with it. You won't have to buy it drinks, though, so I guess that's an advantage. Anyway, also playing, this is Ancient Tapes and a track called Don't Fade Away. Hamilton's Ancient Tapes and a track called Don't Fade Away from their debut EP, which is available on Bandcamp. It's called Hummingbird. Why not trot along there on your computer horse and have a look at it? Have a look at it, but also have a listen, because it won't look that good, I think. It might do. Visually, I'm sure it's fine. Anyway, I'm waffling, but basically, I just wanted to say before I close, that the whole idea of this is to let you, the people that have actually been asked to open this podcast and have a little listen to let you know a few things that are going on that you might not otherwise know about, and play some tunes by some bands that are relevant, that are either coming to town to play or exist in Hamilton, and we'd let you know about them, and just build a little bit of community and have a bit of a laugh while we're doing it. And we're also putting on lots of shows as well, the first one being the Carb on Carb show that we mentioned earlier, but we also want to promote lots of other shows as well. So if you've got a gig on that's worthwhile, then drop us a line, Hamilton Underground Press at gmail.com. Have a look at the website, which is Hamilton Underpants, HamiltonUndergroundPress.com, or check us out on Facebook and all that good stuff. Anyway, thank you very much for listening. Hopefully there'll be another podcast along in the next couple of weeks. Goodbye.